get in touch with that side of you that just want to have that pure, innocent fun and just laugh at the jokes and all the delivery of the very iconic lines you've had over the years. So yeah, so I think it was definitely a great way to share the fun part of your job. Now, and also yes, you mentioned about sporting events as well. And so actually, I recall
I recorded SpongeBob today with Mrs. Puff, who was in Los Angeles, and I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the East Coast. So, yeah, kind of all over the place. Whatever we need to do, we do. But it is very constant. I mean, SpongeBob is a big part of my week for sure. 4 days a week.
Yeah, COVID kind of pushed us forward into a more fractured kind of recording style. Whereas before we used to record more consistently as an ensemble, which personally I preferred. But it's doing these characters for so long. I think it's 125 years. We all know each other so intimately, and we know our characters so intimately that even working together over Zoom or whatever, we can still get that, I think, kind of immediate excitement. It's
interaction. I'm grateful for Zoom because everybody has different schedules, busy schedules. Everybody does other things, other than SpongeBob. So it's kind of nice to have the freedom. I also direct the show, voice direct the show. So it's kind of nice to be able to be anywhere on Earth or doing other things. You don't have to be in Burbank, California, at Nickelodeon Studios. I find that kind of beautifully freeing. It's kind of nice, Yeah.
You could be in your PJs at home and you're recording for the show.
Yes. Well, it's 1 in the here in Pittsburgh, so I should be in my PJs. Yeah. But it's also cold. It's also cold.
Yes,
so
it would be. Yeah, but speaking of which, thank you so much for joining us. I forgot to thank you first and foremost. I know you guys are on the other side of the world, and so, like you said, 1 a.m. plus for Tom, and for Bill it's about 10 in the evening or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I guess I can see that both of you are absolutely fresh and excited for this as well. I mean...
Absolutely. We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but I'm not done with the questions. I just want to... Yeah. The love is right there. I can see that. I totally want to get myself like a SpongeBob PJs. I don't know why I don't have one right now. So
nice.
Yes.
There's probably a vendor at that Comic-Con selling them, Johnny. You can get some.
I'm sure, actually, yeah. I probably should walk around later on and we can find one. Okay, all right. So now let's go ahead and hit the big rewind button. All right, like a big one, and it's gonna take us all the way back to about 25 years, or maybe even earlier than that. Yeah. Oh look, Tom is younger already. Bill, you try. Bill, does your chair swivel? No.
Oh, you're dizzy.
Okay, so now let's talk about it. Walked into the studio and was given the script, or maybe you were seeing the character for the first time. What were your feelings then? And the second part of the question was, did you already have like a voice in mind for the characters, or is it something you came up with after you saw the characters and you thought, okay, he might sound something like this? So, yeah, that's the question.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, yeah, kind of the latter there, Johnny. Steve Hillenburg and I had worked together before, and he showed me his pitch for SpongeBob before he pitched it to Nickelodeon, and just said, I'm working on this show, and these are the characters, and this is what they look like, and this is who they are, and he showed me the artwork, and I guess you asked what the reaction was. My reaction, it was like love at first sight. I had hearts in my eyes. I just fell in love with these characters and this world, and just really was hoping that it would go the distance and really become a show for real. Like that it would not just remain drawings in Steve Hillenburg's desk drawer, that it would really be a show that people would see and watch, and that we could work on, because a lot of shows don't make it that far. They don't even make it to the pilot stage. And then the ones that make it to the pilot stage don't always make it to the series stage, even if they're good. So I just loved it immediately. And Steve showed me the picture of the character, and the voice of the character, what he would sound like, just instantly. Steve's drawings were so evocative and so perfect that the voice just came out of me, and Steve instantly said, "Yep, that's great. That sounds like that's this guy." It was very organic and simple, like very easy. Like some characters take a long time to find, and it's kind of this torturous process. But with SpongeBob, no.
Okay, all right. So how about Bill?
Well, you know, I wasn't as intuitive or astute as Tom when I saw the rough version, the original script, and the drawings. I was amused by the drawings, but I didn't understand the cartoon. I didn't get it. It didn't really make sense to me. I thought maybe it was just kind of dopey stuff for 4-year-olds, you know. So I just did it.
You weren't wrong.
What's that?
You weren't wrong.
You weren't wrong.
I wasn't wrong. But you know, we recorded it, and then about 10 months later, I got the pilot in the mail on a VHS tape. And when I saw that cartoon for the first time, I was just overwhelmed. I felt like I had just seen one of the best cartoons I've ever seen, the pilot, and I was just knocked out. And then it all fell into place in my mushy brain in terms of what Steven was trying to do, and the incredible humor and the incredible ethos of the characters and how they interacted, and the wonderful music. The Tiny Tim song used in the pilot is such the perfect piece of music for that perfect little cartoon. It was all this just kismet. Everything came together in that pilot for me. And it's been nothing but joy ever since. And I got to hear Tom's voice. He knew Tom was going to do SpongeBob, and so I got to hear his voice. He said, "I want you to read for his friend," and he played Tom's voice, and I went, "Oh, okay, so he should be a little bit low and slow," and that's kind of my wheelhouse, so that was good for me.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Tom and Bill. It's great that you actually remember so many details. That was 25 or more years ago. So thank you for sharing that precious memory when it all just really came together. Your voices were such a big part of us here watching the show for the last 25 years. So thank you so much for that. Now, jumping to another question. This time around, let's go a bit more direct to Tom now. SpongeBob has been the Employee of the Month since 1999. How does that continue to happen?
You know, SpongeBob always puts his best foot forward. He always tries very, very hard. He never gives up. He puts 110% of himself into everything he does. So, you know, and let's be honest, the only competition there at the Krusty Krab is Squidward. So it's a pretty low bar to be employee of the month.
We have a Squidward in the crowd.
Yeah, it's just the two of them. So, but that being said, SpongeBob has that spirit where he's always ready to just throw himself in there and give his best. And you know, I have to say, Johnny, that's been kind of an inspiring attitude to live with for all these years. It does kind of rub off on you, this fictional character's gung-ho, never quit, always try your hardest attitude. Can't help but rub off on you know, us on the show, especially me who voice him. And he's really affected my way of looking at life. You know, this fictional silly character has kind of rewired the way that I look. I was always a hopeful person, but and a high energy person, but SpongeBob is just maybe even more so. So again, one of the many gifts that I have to thank Steven Hillenburg for.
Yeah. All right. You know, I totally echo your sentiments there, Tom, because you know there's this saying where they say the fictional characters may not be real, but your relationship with them is. So
that's great.
Yeah, so this is something that I know it's true for me when I watch the show, and you just said right there that, you know, this character of SpongeBob or be it Patrick that you resonate with, this is something that is really true in your heart, and your heart is unable to differentiate this, whether this is real or not. It just becomes part of you, and I guess it does inspire a lot of people.
It's out there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's in the universe.
Yes. So awesome stuff. Okay, now a question to Bill. Bill, I guess to many people's delight, Patrick now has his very own show for a couple of seasons now. So you want to tell us a bit more about it, and is there something you're doing a bit different with your voice for this particular Patrick Star show?
Well, it's a prequel, if you will. It's when Patrick is still living at home with his parents, and we discover that he's got a sister named Swedina, and he in his bedroom every night does a show, and it's called the Patrick Star Show. He's got a stage there, and Swedina is the producer. So, you know, the pressures of cranking out a show every night, they're always looking for the latest topic for a show, whether it's Patrick doing a deep dive in the couch cushions to find the remote, or it gets pretty crazy. And so within that context, then we have these other family members that we get to meet and get to know, and there's also a fun sense of play with narrative. Well, it'll break off into stop motion animation, where we're in a different world. With Plankton is an evil scientist, like Dr. Frankenstein, and I'm Pat Gore. And SpongeBob is the SpongeBob monster, and so he
alternate universe.
Yes, yeah, and so and then we'll jump into the future, and Patrick is a robot, Patron, who's on a spaceship. So there's a lot of play. It's a little bit more wild, if you can believe it, and a bit more antic than SpongeBob.
Right, like I would say that Patrick is the same Patrick he's always been, but on the Patrick Star Show, we're kind of seeing Patrick be a comedy sketch actor in a variety of different comedy skits. You know, that's probably the biggest difference, that Patrick Star is inhabiting other personas and characters, you know, in all these different spoofs of different genres, and it's really fun. You can go anywhere with it.
That's great. It's great to actually see that the show, despite being called the Patrick Star Show, is kind of like not just more of the same, but like you said, there's a bit of twist in there as well. So it gives the fans something more to look forward to. So thank you so much for that, Tom and Bill. Now the thing is, there's a lot of interaction between me and you right now. Of course, the fans are listening in as well. But I think, how about this? We're going to have a little bit of interaction with our fans here at Comic-Con with you guys by playing us a simple little game. It's just for you guys to just, you know, share your love and your knowledge of the show as well. So, you know, Tom and Bill, you guys, like I said, you know, you have been at the privilege of delivering some of the most iconic lines by SpongeBob and Patrick over the years, some of which have been engraved into our brains and hearts forevermore. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is gonna test you guys if you know which character said what. Okay, so basically, who said it? It's a game called Who Said It? I'm going to read you a line from the show, and I just want you guys collectively, if you can, just shout out who do you think said this line. And then from there, I will turn to Tom and Bill, and they're going to then reveal who said that line by, you know, basically saying it in their character voices. So if it's SpongeBob who said it, then Tom will say it in his character voice, and then if it's Bill who said it, then Bill will say it in Patrick's voice.
Great.
Okay? Cool. Okay, are you guys ready? You ready? Okay, let's test your knowledge. Okay. And for those
I can't hear you!
Yeah, I can hear you! Okay. They have no idea what to say right now. Okay. When I say SpongeBob, you say SquarePants. SpongeBob! Hey! Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for the energy, audience.
All right, so I'm gonna read you one of the lines right now. Let's see if you know who said that. All right, it says, "Remember, licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets."
SpongeBob!
I'll say it one more time, okay? Remember, licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets. Who said it?
SpongeBob!
They say it's SpongeBob. Who thinks it's SpongeBob? Who thinks it's Patrick? Okay, well, we'll find out. Tom and Bill, please reveal the answer.
Let's see, I believe that line was said in the first season episode, Pizza Delivery by SpongeBob. Remember, licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets.
Woo! All right. I don't know about you guys. It's tickling my bones to actually hear them say those lines so ironically. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one you gotta know. You gotta know. This is like it's become a meme. The inner mechanisms of my mind are an enigma. The inner mechanisms of my mind are an enigma. Who said it?
Patrick!
They say it's Patrick. Tom and Bill, what do you say?
The inner mechanisms of my mind are an enigma.
Yeah, give them a round of applause. Yeah. I swear to you, when he said that line, I almost fell off my chair. And then there was that thought bubble of like a milk carton falling over.
Yes. Really
that was hilarious. Okay. The next one. Okay, this is really funny too. It's a bit longer, so please listen out. It's called the Ugly Barnacle. Once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end. It's called the Ugly Barnacle. Once there was an ugly barnacle, he was so ugly that everyone died.
It's called the Ugly Barnacle. Once there was a barnacle, and it was born, and he was so ugly that everyone died. The end.
Let's give a round of applause, everybody, come on! Yeah!
It's a good story.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story
With
right
a happy
there.
ending.
Yeah, that
I love a
story
happy
had me in
ending.
tears. I'm like, oh, such a beautiful story. Okay. Now the last one over here that I've got, okay, is, can I be excused for the rest of my life? Can I be excused for the rest of my life? What do you say? Who said it?
SpongeBob.
They say SpongeBob. Tom and Bill?
SpongeBob! Right? Now, what episode was that, guys? It was one of the classroom episodes.
Yeah, there was a
was it the Good
there
Noodle
was a-
episode? Was it New Student Starfish? I can't remember. It was the one with Flats.
There was a fish that was really big and a bully.
Yeah, he was
in
Flats.
class.
And that was Flats the Flounder was that character, and
Yeah.
he's voiced by Tom Wilson, who is the actor who plays Biff in Back to the Future. Hello, McFly. You know, that's who did the voice. Yeah, so the bully in Back to the Future also played the bully in that episode, and that was SpongeBob, who said, "Can I be excused for the rest of my life?"
Let's give that round of applause, everybody! Thank you so much! Yeah, that's right, yeah. All right, Tom and Bill, well, I want to say thank you again so much for joining us online here. It's a dream come true for many people. They're starting to gather around when they finally realize that in this particular segment, we're going to talk to the two legends that took the both of you. And you really made my dream come true as well. I'll tell you, I'll never forget this moment. I think many people here won't forget it as well. They're literally looking at you on the screen live, so thank you so much. It's a dream come true.
Well, you know, Johnny,
Yeah.
I want to say you too are a legend, and I want to thank all the great fans there in Singapore. And I'm going to put it out there right now. Bill and I want to come to Singapore in person.
Can I be excused till then?
For the rest
I wanna
of my
be there.
life.
Oh man, it would be so awesome if you come to Singapore. I would love to meet you guys in person. I think many people
We're
here, they
there.
were screaming. They were screaming. They got so
Okay.
excited. Yeah.
We're going to need you to pick us up at the airport, Johnny.
I will. I swear I'll be there. Is that a problem?
need a ride.
Ah, woo! Okay, all right, guys. Now, while we say thanks to Tom and Bill, that's not the end of what we have here on stage, everybody. We're going to have screening of 2 episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants. For those of you who are big fans, you will love these 2 very iconic episodes. I'll tell you more about them later on. But for the rest of you who are, maybe you heard of SpongeBob, but you're not really into the whole series yet, and you want to find out what's the fuss about, you should totally grab a seat right now and check out for yourself the kind of silliness that goes on in the show. It's so heartwarming, it's funny, it's gonna make your day like they made my day almost every other day when I was watching the show. So come on down, have a seat, and watch the shows for yourself. I'll tell you more about the shows. The first episode we're screening is the Squidward box. Maybe Tom and Bill has been reading through it. You can remember the episode.
Love that
Great.
one.
Yeah.
Great.
So this is the classic episode.
Imagination.
Yeah, imagination. This is where the meme imagination comes in. And basically the episode's about Squidward actually going into the imagination box. Because he can't seem to see why SpongeBob and Patrick are having so much fun in the box. He goes try it himself. And you watch the rest of the show. Okay, that's the very iconic episode. Alright, and then we have Hysterical History. Basically it's a trip to the museum. And SpongeBob and Patrick teach Sandy all about Bikini Bottom's fascinating yet questionable history.
That's a very recent episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So something of a throwback and then something a bit more recent.
I love it.
Yeah, so you guys enjoy the show. I guess Tom and Bill, you can stay online if you want to. It's very late over there, but it's never too late for a SpongeBob show. So you guys decide if you want to stay there. Okay, and so we also
Like a
want to
great
tell.
bedtime story.
Yeah, it is a bedtime story, wouldn't it? Okay, so we also have a Nickelodeon booth right over there, SpongeBob SquarePants booth over there to celebrate our 25th anniversary. So there's a lot of things going on there, but you should take note that we have the characters' appearance from at 4:30 today. Okay, so at 4:30 today, SpongeBob and Patrick will be there again. We had one earlier on, but the only other session today is 4:30. But we'll also be here tomorrow, 2:30 and 4:30 for those character meet and greet. We also have a game that we want you to play. It's called the Krabby Patty Feeding Frenzy game. This is basically a virtual video game where you have a spatula that is kind of motion censored, and you're basically feeding all the customers with Krabby Patties in the Krusty Krab. So if you can get a certain score, you will get some premiums for us as well. So go try that out. We also have a mini screening of the first ever episode of SpongeBob SquarePants Help Wanted. So make sure you go there and check out that show to really hit the big rewind button over there to jog those memories. And we also have a merchandise area as well. If you would like to grab some merch, that's the best place to do so. Okay, more details coming up later, but let's not waste any more time and screen those episodes. Once again, a round of applause to Tom and Bill, everybody! Okay, the episode. We'll see you later.
I see you.
Plus for you guys for being here and taking part in this segment to celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what? The fun is not over. You're gonna have the character appearances of SpongeBob and Patrick over at our booth right just behind us over here at 4:30. Okay, they're gonna be there as well tomorrow at 2:30 and 4:30 as well. So don't miss out on your chance to get up close with SpongeBob and Patrick at our booth. Speaking of our booth, for the true hardcore fans of SpongeBob SquarePants out there, you will actually realize that our booth is actually themed towards the first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, because we even have the merchandise area that is called Bargain Mart, which is featured in the first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants as well. Now, other things you can look forward to, like I mentioned earlier on, we have the Krabby Patty Feeding Frenzy game, where if you can take part and if you hit a particular score, you get some stickers from us. We also have the inking parlor, so if you want to get some tattoos on your skin to show your love for SpongeBob, you can do that as well. Don't worry, the tattoos are nothing permanent, unlike your love for SpongeBob and Patrick, of course. So head over there for more fun. My name is Johnny, signing off for now. Thank you so much for being part of Comic-Con, and we'll see you over at our booth. Thank you!